Hi everybody.
Na tissue.
Hello everyone. There's so much talk these days about feeling bored and feeling like you're in a prison cell because we're all in quarantine. Really? Talaga lang? I look at this prison cell and I see a monitor, TV, I see laptop, I can hear Spotify in the background. I feel the coolness of the aircon. I am sipping juice and eating some chips on the side. I can speak to my brilliant daughter. Brilliant daughter!
Brilliant, mommy.
Okay. Any time of the day. I love my prison cell. Why am I talking about being imprisoned and all this? Because I feel so much negativity from the Facebook posts about being bored, feeling like we are imprisoned. You want to talk about being in prison? I'll tell you about a very famous person, Dr. Jose Rizal's last 24 hours in his prison cell. You see, while I was cleaning out my books, I found a book called Light in Rizal's Death Cell by Manolo Vanyo. It's actually a thin book, so I decided to just read it. You see, Rizal was able to do so much in 24 hours. In fact, he was able to perform an activity for each component of life. What do I mean by this? It means Rizal was able to do something for his physical, intellectual, emotional, sociocultural, occupational, financial, spiritual, and even environmental aspects of his life. So, what do I mean by this? Physical. Well, he ate, he had milk and coffee, he also took 4 hours of sleep. In fact, there were times that he rested within those 24 hours. So, physical. What about emotional? Emotional is about relationships. He had several activities with people dear to him. His family, he was even able to kneel down and ask forgiveness from his mother. He was able to talk to his sisters and his brother, Pasiano. Of course, he had that 1 hour with his loved one, Josephine Bracken. Whether or not they got married canonically or not, his writing of his dedication on the book was proof enough that he was willing to give Josephine Bracken his name. What about intellectual? Oh, mental for the mind. Well, Rizal kept on talking with all the fathers, Father Rosel, Father Villaclara, Father Faura. Everybody wanted to discuss religion with him and try to make him retract whatever he has said against the church. So there was always this discussions that were challenging Rizal's brain till the very end. Of course, spiritual. The moments when he read the Bible, he read a book called Imitation of Christ. Finally, there was an account that he actually did confess. Well, whether or not that was true, I'm not endorsing if this book is historically correct or not. I'm just telling you in reference to our topic today. What about social cultural? Social cultural is more of the community and working with people that are your friends or are part of are part of the group. Well, he did grant that interview with Brother Titlot. He also had Dr. Blumentritt in his mind because he wanted to bequeath the book Egger's German Reader to him. What about occupational? Fiscal Castaño, he was exchanging views with Rizal regarding their respective professions. And remember, Rizal is an author and a writer. So he had the chance to write several letters. He was able to write a poem even, Mi Ultimo Adios. he went back to his roots of using his pen, the very weapon he used against the Spanish government. Financial. Rizal had no money in the cell, but the act of bequeathing his material belongings, his last material belongings, his alcohol burner, his shoes, a book, that's already an act of legacy, like an inheritance. And for my insurance friends, you know that is like giving an insurance policy to his sisters. Finally, environmental. What is the environment? A dark prison cell? Perhaps. But this is what I researched. You see, on December 30, Rizal marched from Fort Santiago to Bagumbayan, which is now Luneta Park. It's 1.4 kilometers. It's a 21-minute walk. And I want you to picture yourself walking for 1.4 kilometers. I am just thinking that Rizal was probably looking around, looking at his environment, taking one last look of the Filipinos, Manila, the fortress of Santiago, the greenness of the trees, perhaps even hearing birds chirping, the sun shining. Remember, it's a break of dawn. It's about 6 in the morning that he started to walk. In his relationship to all this, that's environment. Before 7 o'clock, 7:03, when it ended. Rizal was given only 24 hours. In this quarantine, we're given 30 days to fix all the components of our lives. And unlike Rizal, it's not as if we're going to be shot at the end of 30 days. We're going to be allowed to go out. And let's say it just stretches on. We're still in this prison cell. I'm talking to those of you who are fortunate to have a prison cell such as this, huh? I'm not talking about those who are hand-to-mouth existence. I'm talking about those of you who have internet, who's on social media. Do something with your life. Physical, maybe exercise, indoors, eat healthy food. I should take my own advice as well.
Lol.
For emotional, build the relationships with your family. My gosh, I am enjoying this 30 days with my children. Talking about various topics. We're doing a lot of things in the house. Watch out because we're going to do something as a family again. That's for next week, okay? And I invite you to come and join us. What else? Spiritual. Even if we're not allowed to go to the churches, we can pray. We can pray here in our homes. We can watch the online masses. We can read the Bible. We can do a lot of stuff spiritually. Environmental. If you have a little garden, maybe you can go out, do some gardening, or just, have... You know what this is teaching us? This is where they're teaching us to plant again, to grow our food in our backyards in little pots. Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we should start throwing out trash and taking a look and recycling at whatever's in the house. That's environmental. We're trying to help the planet. Think of this quarantine this way. The earth is healing itself. No pollution, no factories, no cars. It's a wake-up call for Mother Earth. What about social-cultural? Well, that's why I'm doing this video. I want to reach out to as many people as I can. You can still talk to friends. That's what social media is for. To become friendly and to spread positive vibes. Financial. Oh, that's the problem because we're not doing anything that's financially sustaining. Some of us are given the privilege of being paid even if they're not in their offices, and I salute the employers for that. But for those of us who are businessmen who are suddenly shut down right now, where do we get our sources of income? Well, this is where we Again, rummage through the house. Think of what you can sell. Think of what you can donate. Take a look at your savings. This is the time you look at your insurance policies. You look at the bank. Fix a budget. Anything that is financially related. Even take maybe online jobs. This is perhaps the perfect time for it. Speaking of online, talk about intellectual. Well, thank you. You're watching my video. Please read books. Please take online classes. That's how you keep that brain working. Don't just make it sleep for the whole 30 days. Oh, maybe occupational because we're not working. Well, then let's try to find some work online. The point of all this is we have 30 days, my friends, to fix all the components of completing ourselves. Please, please, don't be bored. Be grateful.